Happy Thursday. We are so excited to be back here with all of you, sharing this lunch hour with you, these 30 minutes, and chatting with you about things that matter most. Today, I have my sister with me. And no, y'all, she is not my blood sister, but she is my sister from another
We might
mother
be.
and got my last name too. Hello, somebody. What's she doing with my last name?
Yes.
But so excited to have Tomiko with us. She's an amazing woman. I've known her for a number of years, and she's a licensed social worker and does great work in the community of New York City. And I'm just happy to be with her today. But before we jump into our conversation, we want to do some quick housekeeping. Happy Black History Month, everybody. This is a time where we highlight the issues of blackness and the issues that Black communities are facing. We also highlight our resilience, our brilliance, and our excellence. So we'll be talking about that today. This is Black History Month, so support Black people, support Black businesses, support these conversations that lift up Black issues. And we also want to remind you that we do have a ATL Rise podcast. If you have not subscribed, please do so now. You can go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Podbeam. But we want you to subscribe. Subscribe. When I tell you, we have movers and shakers on our podcast that's given us quality content, inspirational, uplifting. Everything you need is on there, from food insecurity to parenting to divorce to marriage. You got to listen to it. It's such a blessing. I love doing these podcasts. Our next episode is going to be released this Friday, where we'll be talking about the Queen and You, dedicated to Black women. Don't miss that. But today is our fireside chat with Tomiko, my sister. I am so happy to share space with you, Tomiko. Thank you for being with me and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shaniqua. Thank you here. Thank you for having me. Hello to everyone. Glad to see you. Thank you. Thank you for I do appreciate it. Once again, my name is Tomiko. Full name is Tomiko. I'm on first name basis. You can see me as Tomiko, and that's fine. Thank you. Thank
I
you
love
so
it.
much.
I love it. Well, Tomiko is a licensed
So,
social worker. She has over 20 years of healthcare experience, and she serves a vulnerable population of adults with chronic conditions, severe mental illness, substance use disorders, and several other illnesses. Tamiko also serves children with learning disabilities, behavioral challenges, conduct, and mood disorders. And she is the author of the award winning book, Anti Woman Controversies A Woman Has Within Herself, Man and Society. And we're going to be talking about that book today, y'all, from a Black woman perspective. Tamiko empowers individuals to improve the quality of their lives, and she balances her life with spiritual foundation, spending quality time with her family, and exercising and meditation. So that is Tamiko, and that is her a part of her bio. She does a lot more. Tamiko, I want to give you an opportunity. If there's anything I missed out on, can you add it to the conversation?
job well done, Shaniqua. Job well done. That's good. No, that was good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, your book, right? You have a book out, which
Yep.
is this is my first time knowing that, y'all. So I got to get a copy of it. But you have a book, and it is a book on womanhood and the issues women deal with. Can you tell us just a snippet about what that book is about, and what inspired you to write that book?
Mhm. Okay. So overall, the book improving our thought processes. Um, Sometimes positive thinking about ourselves, and that's where it starts. And lay it on other people when we engage with them, when we have conversations. The woman kind of explores some of the issues that might have caused the negative thinking. However, anti-women also improve our thought process. If we can improve our thought process, and we can also improve our behavior and how we socialize within our and also within the community. And so that's
Mm.
what anti-women highlights.
I love that, and it sounds like cognitive behavioral therapy in a sense of you're focusing on the thoughts and the mind of a woman, and I'm wondering if you can tell me what are some of the challenges that women are dealing with in their mind?
Mhm. The mind. Let's chat with that. Um, First, we're born knowing anything. We're taught, right? First
Mm,
family, first teachers are our. So we kind of take in um, whatever our caregivers not raised by their mother and father. So we're going to use caregivers in general, right? Because we don't relate. We have to be fed. We have to be taught how to crawl. We have to be taught how to. We are already receiving all of these deposits from somebody external. We hold that in, all right, and that plays on our emotional state. So wherever we were
mm,
told, we're going to think it because we're waiting people to feed off of each other as adults, but as a child, we're being fed from our. If our caregivers are already working at a deficit, then
mm,
sometimes we deficit, right? A lot of, and I'm just singling people. A lot of women raise their children as single parents, deficit
mm,
there, right? So
mm,
that means I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to give my child what he or she needs.
mhm,
However, I cannot he or she needs because someone is missing out the equation that was me. And so if that other part is not here, then I'm already
mhm,
at a deficit.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Hmm. Right. Okay.
That's that's,
Go ahead.
you know, the deficit um, is it single family theory or single
Single
person
family.
theory? Single family theory. I
Single
think that's
family
super
theory.
interesting. Yeah,
Hmm.
and I'm wondering I can imagine that that deficit comes
Right.
through it's almost generational
Generational.
because if
Hmm.
you didn't
Some.
have two-family household,
Right.
um, then it's sometimes a little difficult, or a household where
Hmm.
parents co-parent well. You may
Right.
then adopt this deficit or have this deficit and may not be able to identify it. But I gotta tell you, Tomiko, I've been a social worker for almost 15 years, and I've never heard this theory. I'm really interested in learning more. Can you expound on that for us just a little more?
Hmm. Okay. And so if we already growing up, so we're not getting 100%, we're not getting fully what we need. Community, right? We're already we're seeking, we're we're seeking someone else to fulfill something that haven't been. So if you're growing up, and I'm going to speak about children that's growing up with both, okay? So if I'm growing up with a single parent and my single parent and I still have to go to school, they call them sometimes latch. I'm letting my own
Mhm.
self in.
Gotcha.
We talking
Right.
about pre adolescence. I have my parent have to work. There's nobody home. I had to parentify myself because I have to make myself. I have to figure out my own things to do with my homework. I have no adult to go to, right? So
Mm,
I'm a kid with adult responsibilities. It's not
right.
resolved. I'll get through it. I'll get through it. But if that is not resolved, faction, I grow up as an adult still searching.
Mm,
I'm an adult in this relationship that I didn't really get to fulfill as a for that other person to kind of fulfill my voids. Because
mm,
remember, I already grew up as a single parent, right?
mhm.
a single parent. If I didn't have a relationship with my father and I don't know my father, I'm going to adulthood if something is not mended in between my childhood and when I do see this male figure, okay, my eyes widen. You're attracted to you because I'm looking for you to feel something that was never fulfilled, right? And so now there's pressure. There's pressure on both. There's pressure because you want me to fulfill something that I wasn't even really responsible for.
To fulfill.
Yep. And then we begin to bump heads. And so communication comes in. It's important because sometimes man can help your needs. Man and woman, they come together to help meet each other's needs. But I can't give you I can't give you something that your father didn't give you, meet your needs. And for somehow this individual, right, that comes gotta somehow make peace with it. We have to, because then you're going to still, if you continue to leak, you're going to be drained and depleted. And then that's and that's where mental health comes in, because I'm so depressed, because we got a lot of it's not even solved yet. We have to come to a resolve. And some within ourselves to come to a resolve. But communication is key. We have to learn how do we change our language. What do we tell us? We understand what people have told. We come and we bring these negative thoughts in our adulthood. But however, when we are adults, wait, what have you told yourself? And that's what I tell people. I get it. We've all been told something different. But as an adult, we have the ability now to change. What have you told yourself? Because what you tell yourself, you'll believe what you tell yourself. So it's all about changing the language, communication.
I love that so much. And I just wanted to interject right there, because what you're saying is so powerful. And I'm a firm believer in this. We are all telling ourselves a story about ourselves. And we're also telling people a story about ourselves. But oftentimes we don't realize what we're telling ourselves about ourselves, but we believe it. And then it shows up in our thoughts. Sometimes we tell ourselves, you're not good enough. You're never going to be good enough. This is what you deserve. You're always going to go through this. Life is always going to be hard. What stories are you telling yourself? And sometimes what you're telling yourself is based on your experiences. So as you said, Tomiko, if you grew up in a world where you had to protect yourself, defend yourself, and didn't have that parent essentially in your life to validate and protect, you told yourself the world isn't safe. And now you have to provide safety for you. So, and that story continues until adulthood, right? Until you really start to address it and confront it. But I love what you said. It's that inner voice. It's that voice that continues to speak to you. These are the thoughts, and these are the things I think you're talking about and you're tackling in that book.
Right.
I'm wondering if you can talk about the same and the same flow and the same vein. What does that look like for Black women who may be telling themselves a story? What story do you see Black women telling themselves?
You just mentioned, from my conversation with Black women, they feel that they're not good enough. I like to say mirrors. All right, some people say role models. When we don't see similar faces like us, when we work out in a community, we don't see similar faces like us. And when we do see someone mirrors us, it's either we're playing the maid, being so much higher up, but then the maid, we're at we're housekeeping, and that's what we see, or we're just home, kids, or our belly is out, and then we pushing someone, we're pushing another child, and one has mirrored. We haven't seen. I'm just talking about the conversations that I've had. Black women. I haven't
Mm,
reached every black woman, but the women that I
mhm,
have, the one that I've spoken that they tell me, I haven't
mhm,
seen somebody that looks proud of my knowledge. I haven't seen them,
mhm,
and when I do seen them, there's no meeting place, meaning that you are of a different ethnicity to me,
mhm,
and it doesn't come together because you don't know my story. I want
mhm,
somebody to identify, and this is the story that I hear when I
mhm,
speak to black women, and I don't or I can't find it as of yet. Doesn't mean it's not out there. I just person. There's a meeting place. I like to call it a meeting place where one and we find some kind of commonality from which you want to be. I was with, I was just blessed to have a social worker, and before I became a social worker, I I had to see it. I had to. Some black women don't. I don't. I don't see it. Doesn't mean that it's not there in front of them. And this is why it's
mhm,
so important to kind of share our and have a meeting ground. Because if I can find somebody that look like me, change my narrative. But if the only thing I'm seeing is guns and violence, I have about 4 or 5 kids, and I can't find nobody to assist me. I don't have a vision. I don't have a mirror. I don't have a mirror. And
mhm,
for someone that they can see and say, okay, I can identify with, I share my story, right? Because no one gets anywhere alone.
that's
We
right.
all have to come together and join
Mm,
together.
right.
And it's not sure. I don't know. It's okay to say it. It's to be okay for the moment. Doesn't
Mhm,
mean that's going to be your everlasting story moment. And with
mhm,
moments, it changes. It's like season. Winter,
mm,
spring, it can change. But I need you to think that it can change first before change. And this is
that's right.
why I kind of strong on our thought process.
Mhm,
Someone, if I can bring it to life, just to talk about it, you bring it, watch what we birth, watch what you say about yourself because you
mhm,
bring it to life.
that's right.
Conscious and you think about it, okay. Once you bring that into the air, once you blow it, we have to change our narrative. We have to change
Right.
our story about ourselves. We'll continue
So we have the
to spill
power,
over on somebody.
right? We have the power to change our story. We
Yes,
have the power as women and men, of course, but we're talking
yes,
about women right now. We have the power to change our destiny. We have the power to see our life the way we want, based on what we think about ourselves and based on what we
right,
say about ourselves.
right,
I
right,
love
right.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about, you talked about the Black woman and her plight and some of the things that you're noticing that some Black women are going through and needing to see that mirror and needing to see another Black woman and finding that commonality, especially in
right.
spaces like community, social service, child
Right,
protective, all of that, where things are so oppressive and targeted against Black women. And so being able to find, for example, a Black therapist, a Black female social worker, a Black female therapist, or Black female case manager, or
yes,
Black female doctor, it does make
yes,
all the difference because there is
yes.
a connection
Mhm.
and an understanding, and there's a bond automatically that you develop and that you feel with that person by
Right.
way of knowing you understand, you get it. And I think that it transcends that, right? It goes beyond just being able to see that
Right.
in the mirror. But I think another layer to that is as a Black woman that had being a successful or wherever you are in your life or career, if you're a Black woman and you've
Right.
already arrived or are arriving, never
Right.
being disconnected from when you were that, when you were
Right.
in that place. And I think
Right.
what disheartens me sometimes, Tomiko, is when I I see that, right? I see Black women that they've obtained a certain level of success or they've arriving to a certain level of success, but then they become disconnected from the plight of the Black woman that they once were. And there's
Yes.
many reasons why, but when I see that, it's very disheartening, because we need Black women to be able to come back and to be able to
Yes.
pour wisdom, pour love, and pour these things. Because the reality is, when you're going through these things, you've gone through these lived experiences, and you're telling yourself that you're dumb, you're never going to make it, you're confused, you're always
Right.
going to be in it. You need somebody to pull you out. You need someone to pour in. You need
Right.
someone to help you disrupt that cycle and to help pull you into purpose. And so I think that is another layer that I like to see in our community.
Yes. Definitely. Um, what I wanted to add, the other layer um, could be successful if women, um, if we find, I don't care if it's one thing, valuable within ourselves and work it. Because what happens if you're successful and I'm not, and I see you act successful, I start wanting, then I start resenting you because
Mm,
I'm not there yet.
mm,
That's what kind of hinders the Black women relationship sometimes.
wow.
Yep, they
You need to
see
say
as
that one more time,
you made
Tamiko.
it. They
Say it
see
one more time.
you made it. I
Mhm,
didn't.
mhm,
But they're only looking at they're not even getting the glimpse of their future. If
mm,
some people future they even want to commit suicide, they don't have a
mm,
glimpse. They looking at current. Oh my, I can't handle it, right?
right.
But they don't know midnight is a new day.
Mhm,
But they looking at
mhm,
current. They're looking. So if I continue to look at current, if I continue to focus on current
right.
future, and I forget it, right. So if I remain fixated on, and I don't get a glimpse of what my progress can be, I stay jealous, I
Mhm,
stay envy, and then
mhm,
I don't want to part. That's why I'm trying to encourage the Black women. I don't care if it's one thing. Everyone has them. Everyone
mhm. That's right.
identify it.
That's right.
Identify it.
Mhm,
Horn on it. And so when I work my talents, then the world become better.
that's right.
We're socially empowered to change.
Mhm,
But I need you to change your thoughts first. You
mhm,
imagine yourself. If you cannot change that, then it's going to be more change your thoughts about yourself. We all,
yes.
but by coming together, by holding conversations for each other,
Mm,
we can overcome it. You can get through this. You don't have to stay. You don't have to. The only way you
mhm,
stay stuck is you make no movement. If I sit
mhm,
here, then I'm stuck.
mhm.
As long as you moving, you can improve, change your thoughts.
That's right.
That's how
That's right.
it starts.
That's right. And what I wanna do right in this moment, as we're coming to a close, we're 5 minutes to a close, I want us each to take 2 minutes and encourage Black women listening right now.
Yeah,
You can start, and I'll and
I
I'll
think
and
that.
I'll come behind you.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let me talk 5 minutes. Let me talk to the little girl. To the little girl that either got one parent or two. Learn from your parents. Ask questions in your if you can. If you can, teacher. I grew up where kids who was seen and not heard. So if you still at that model, teacher, but ask questions. Learn. Learn from your household. That is the first school base before you even go out to regular buildings, school to whatever. Learn from households. You can learn from your deficits and your challenge. Utilize them, teachers. Ask questions. Sometimes we're ashamed to say something dumb. I don't care. Ask questions anyway. Write it down. Go back and look at it later on. When you get to the working world, two things that I would encourage Black people to do: be friendly, be kind, say please and thank you to do it. So if they do it, show some gratitude. Show to it. When somebody take time and extend themselves, show gratitude. But all in all, because you can do it. I don't care what somebody negative say about you. I'm gonna ask you, say to yourself, you can.
I love it. And I'll do my 2 minutes. A dear Black woman watching right now, I want you to know that you are worth it. You are worth happiness. You are worth peace. You are worth being loved. You are perfectly made the way that you are. So don't question your self worth. Don't question your value. You are valuable and you belong in every space of success. There is a seat at the table for you. I want you to trust in your gifts, trust in your talents. There is something that you bring to the world that is valuable. I want you to invest in yourself, find what that talent is, find what that skill is, that craft is that you have. And I want you to begin to perfect that craft. Begin to take time spending, investing in you. Begin to take care of you. Begin to understand what your needs are as a Black woman. Don't take care of everyone else around you, but forget to take care of you. Stop at moments of the day, pour into you, pour into yourself because you deserve it. You are deserving.
Yeah,
You are worth it. You are valuable. You are loved, you are brilliant, you are excellent, you are resilient, you are magical. You are a Black woman. And that is my encouragement to the Black woman
yes,
that's watching.
yes.
We gotta encourage each
Yeah,
other.
our queen. That's
You are a
right.
queen. Hello,
Find a
Black queen, Black
queen in
beautiful queen.
you.
There's a queen in
Queen.
you.
That's
Absolutely, there is a
right.
queen.
That,
And we
that's
have to
right.
encourage
Find
our
it.
daughters.
Yes.
Encourage our daughters, encourage Black
Yes.
girls. I make it my business. When I'm walking and I see, Black girls, I say, "You are just beautiful. Girl,
Beautiful.
look at that hair. Girl, you
Right.
working them eyebrows. Girl, you working that
Exactly.
dress. Hello." Right? We
Stop.
need that from each other. We need that. And that helps to
Yes.
interrupt the thoughts that you talked about that we may be struggling with. So this is what
Exactly.
it's about. And we have about 1 minute wrapping up, but I want to give you any last words that you like to say before we close out.
No, I think no. Listen, my last word. You can do it, and this is to everyone. But since we are home, you can do it.
That's right.
You don't have to go to the extent so much. Can I say it out quickly? Getting credit cards, having these. You can't do it. You're fine the way you are. Work
Mhm.
that $10,000 or so that you bought on these surgeries. Did bought a house.
Mhm.
You could have did something else with it. You
Yes.
don't have to get someone attention. You'll find a
Mhm.
way you are. You are.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Save that
Yeah.
$10,000,
Powerful.
that credit card on something else. I believe in you. If you don't
That's
take
right.
nothing else out of this, I believe
I believe in you too. And how can people get a copy of your book, Tomiko?
on if they want to go on writersrepublic.com, you can go on Barnes and Nobles. It's all on electronic. It's there. Yep, it's there. You can go on Barnes and Nobles if you want to go on. It's there. Just
And
plug
it
in
is
my name,
Black History.
Miko. It is.
Support Tomiko Moore.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Support Tomiko Moore.
Thank
It's
you.
Black History, and she has an amazing book out there. You
Thank
heard
you.
from her. She's a woman of fire, wisdom. She is a mover and a shaker and a trailblazer. Download her book. Find her book on Amazon or Barnes and Noble.
Thank you.
Pick up your copy, woman. Pick up your copy. We need it.
Thank
We
you.
need to invest in ourselves. This is a part of investing in yourself. Pick up a copy of her book and read it and reach out to her. We are at
Thank
the
you.
end of our
Thank
segment,
you
but
so.
it's
Thank you so much. I'm going to later with you. Anyone want to contact me? Reach out to me by email.
yes,
Tomiko
ma'am. Hey,
TOMIKOMOORE AOL.com. Thank you so
Ew.
much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that is how you reach out to Tomiko, Tomiko Moore at
Yeah.
AOL.com. That's Tomiko Moore, everyone. We appreciate all of you for being and tuning in for these 30 minutes. We had such a beautiful heart to heart. And I hope that you got something from this woman that are watching because this is all about you. And
Yeah.
this is all for you. So share
Yeah.
this message and
We
lift it
did it
up.
for you.
Y'all. Share the love, share the kindness,
Yes.
and let other people hear this message because we believe that another Black woman and another woman needs to hear it. Continue to support our content. Subscribe to our channels on YouTube, on LinkedIn, iRace Inc. Also, don't forget to follow me, Shaniqua E. Moore, on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. We love all of you so much. Black History Month.
Yeah.
Happy Black History Month, y'all. There is a queen in you, Black woman, and our Black kings too. We'll have a
Yes.
second for you. We love you all. Stay tuned and stay safe. We'll see you again next